Okay, welcome. This is a video about matrices. Um, let's just get started with what is a matrix. A matrix is a way to organize information. And just to be clear, a matrix is the singular version. We have one matrix, or if we have more than one matrix, we have many matrices. So matrices is the plural. All right, well, what does a matrix look like? A matrix is really just a table where we're going to put some information. The important thing about a matrix, though, is that that table is using brackets, sort of those square parentheses. And the reason we use brackets is because eventually we'll be using matrices on the graphing calculator, and possibly in the future you'll use them in a computer program. And so matrices are set up with brackets, and it means a certain thing when you put it into the calculators and the computers. But basically the brackets are here, and we have rows that go across. And we're going to have columns that go down. And we just put some information in. So let's say we had taken some information from some boys and girls, and we had, what do you prefer to have for lunch? You can either have a sandwich or soup or salad. Okay, and so the information that we have is, 5 of the boys wanted a sandwich, when no of them wanted soup, and 2 of them wanted salad. Whereas with the girls, 3 wanted a sandwich. There's an announcement. 3 wanted soup and 4 wanted a salad. Okay, so we've just organized this information into rows about boys, rows about girls, or columns about sandwiches, columns about soup, and columns about salad. So we can look at it in different ways. We talk about this being a 2 by 3 matrix, and what that does is it describes the dimensions. And so the dimensions are always listed, the number of rows by the number of columns. So we have 2 rows going across, so that's why it's a 2 first, and then 3 columns going down, that's why it's a 3 next. So 2 by 3 matrix. All right, well, let's look at what we can do with these matrices once we can make them. We have here 2 matrices, one information about Mr. Tagg's class, boys and girls again, and who was wearing jeans and who was not wearing jeans, other pants. And here's Ms. Welch's class, boys and girls again, and who was wearing jeans and who was not wearing jeans. So one of the first things we can do with a matrix is look at some row sums or some column sums. So if I wanted to take a row sum, maybe I want to see how many total students were wearing jeans, I would just add these up. 5 plus 6, 11 students were wearing jeans, whereas if I did this row, I would do 4 and 2 is 6 people were not wearing jeans, were wearing something other than jeans. So that's called a row sum. Okay. The other option is to do a column sum. So if we did this column, that would tell me how many boys are in my class. So there's 9 boys. Or if we did this column sum, we have 6 girls. Okay, so we can do row sums, we can do column sums. The other thing we can do is we can add the 2 matrices together. What if we wanted to get a total from both classes together? Well, the reason we can do that, the reason we can add the matrices, is because the matrices are set up the same way. They're both Hopefully you recognize these are both 2 by 2 matrices, right? 2 rows and 2 columns for each of these, 2 rows and 2 columns. And since the headings are the same, boys and girls, genes and no genes, then we know that this first entry here in the upper left corner is how many boys were wearing jeans. And the same for my group, how many boys were wearing jeans. So if I add these matrices, I set up my answer matrix as a 2 by 2. So I know I'm going to have something there, something there, something there, and something there. And I'm going to have boys and girls and jeans or no jeans. And then I'm just going to add what we call the corresponding entries. Okay, so add the corresponding entries. Corresponding just means the ones that are matched up in the same position, the same spot. So I'm going to do 5 and 3 is 8, and I'm just going to have my 8 there. Or 6 and 2, also 8. Now I'm going to do the next row. 4 and 6, there's 10 there. And 2 and 4, that's 6. So I've taken upper left plus upper left, upper right plus upper right, lower left plus lower left, lower right plus lower right, and I have my new matrix. In the same way that we add matrices, if there was a reason to subtract the matrices, you can also subtract them. The important thing about subtracting is if you're subtracting a small number, subtract a bigger number. For example, this lower right-hand 2, subtract 4, we can end up with a -2, and that's fine. You can enter a negative number in a matrix. That's just fine. Okay. The next thing we can do is we have this matrix here. Hopefully you're saying to yourself, this is 2 rows by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So this is a 2 by 5 matrix. And we have number of hours of watching TV. So sometimes matrices have titles, just like a graph would, or a table. And we have information here. It looks like teens and adults, and this must be, the average number of hours watched on the TV during the week, say. Well, what if we said that in the winter, these hours double? Okay, so how do we show that these double? Well, we can take an entire matrix and multiply the whole matrix by 2 for doubling. Or if I said if it tripled, I'd multiply by 3. Or if I said in the winter these hours are cut in half, I'd multiply by 0.5. And so what you're going to do is set up your answer matrix in the same way that this is set up, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we have teens and adults. And I'm just going to multiply each number inside by the number 2, sort of like the distributive property. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2.5 is 5, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 1 is 2. And so I still have a 2 by 5 matrix. I have multiplied a number by everything in the matrix, so all of this has all multiplied by 2. This is called scalar multiplication. Okay, so it's like increasing the scale or multiplying by a scale. Okay, this is different from multiplying 2 matrices. That's something a little more complicated that we'll get to probably on the next video. Good luck. We'll get some of this vocabulary down in the next class.